Duke beating Iowa. Final score 74-62. Let's begin right here with the Tar Heel breaking down the Blue Devils. John Henson, what did Duke show you tonight?
You know what? Duke was solid. Iowa.
That's all you can give them?
They were solid. They were solid. Iowa did not look that good. Let's just be honest. They were solid. But, you know, I think some of the young guys.
You are a Tar Heel.
It's the nicest thing
Whitehead and
people ever say about them. You weren't going to say they were great.
They were solid. I don't think I'll ever say they're great.
Oh.
But maybe. But, you know, they were good. Roach looked good. The young guys are working back in. I like how Shire's trying to bring them along slowly. And Duke's looking like a team that, you know, if they can get it together, they can make some noise at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is the young guys are coming, which in turn means the veterans don't have to play as much. You don't have to count on Jacob Grandison and Ryan Young as much as you did when I saw them in Portland or Champions Classic. You know, Mark Mitchell was terrific on both ends tonight, right? I mean, he kind of played bully ball on offense because he could, and defensively he was terrific in being the primary defender on Chris Murray.
Yeah. I love the way that their backcourt's kind of shaping out. Tyrese Proctor and Jeremy Roach together. You know, I'm a little surprised at how much Jeremy Roach is actually playing off the ball. There's a lot of times they just give the ball to Tyrese and kind of let him go, put him in ball screen, and say, go make a decision. And it works. If you look at the teams that have won titles recently, we talk about this all the time, right?
Yes.
Multiple playmakers, multiple shooters, guys that can space the floor, and Duke's got that. And
Roach just said, we were just down there, Fan and I, and Roach said, you know, it kind of saves his legs a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, you've seen Duke now 5 times.
Yeah.
How much have you?
Duke damn beat writer.
5 times.
I love the Dukies.
I hear you, man.
I've seen Carolina 3 times too. I wish I hadn't.
Listen, man, I'll tell you what, we're cringeworthy right now, but don't count us out.
Right.
Count us out. Don't
Right.
count us out.
Coming up, John Henson will provide his ACC power ranking. We cannot.
It's okay. BC lost tonight to UNH.
Yeah.
You can't put him 50.
Yeah, I can't put a 15. You know, we'll go bottom tier. How about
That's
that?
right.
We'll keep it bottom.
at least you're not Louisville, man. You could be Louisville.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Louisville just needs to get a win, or they need to lose by less than.
Them coming up.
They need to lose by less than 15.
They got FAMU.
Seriously.
FAMU.
Isn't over there, Nolan?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
How
feel
bad?
bad. I don't feel bad. I don't feel that bad.
Look at this.
Should have stayed home.
Nice. So, Jeff, you've seen Duke 5 times. How have you seen them grow from game 1 to now?
You know, again, I don't think there's as much pressure now. Although Roach played so well tonight, there's not as much pressure on him. You know, to me, again, Whitehead's coming like soon. You know, like he's not all of a sudden going to emerge and get 25. But if Tariq Whitehead can give you, 15 soon, I think this is going to be more of a balanced team than we ever thought, right? Filipowski's been really good. He's the one who came out of the gate strong. But let's face it, he's probably going to hit a wall at some point this year. I mean, look at his body. He probably is.
Yeah.
Do you think he's put a cog in kind of their plans to have Lively kind of come in and be the guy? Like they look a lot better with him at the 5.
Yes, they do.
They do.
They didn't think he was going to be this good too.
Yeah.
Like when he was in practice before the season started, like the reports coming out of there were like,
Yes.
I don't know how he's going to fit. I don't know if this is going to work with Filipowski out there.
Well,
now he's the guy. Like,
again,
he can't play Lively at this point.
He looks good,
right? There's times when he can't play Lively.
Listen, the one thing is Filipowski. Defensively, you worry about him at the 4. Right. That's where you worry about him, right? Because offensively, you've seen it. He can space it.
Yeah, he's good.
So, like, you could have him and Lively be a lob catching, rim running 5. That's fine. It's more on the defensive end. If you want to be an elite defensive team, like they showed, maybe not elite tonight, but man, they were pretty good.
Here's the deal, folks. Iowa entered the game as the 3rd ranked Ken Palm adjusted offensive efficiency team. By metrics, by what they've shown, and by Chris Murray. Chris Murray tonight did not have it. He was shut down. And what did John Shire say just now in the press conference? Defense is who we have to be.
He said that all preseason too, and I was like, let's see. I don't know if I believe you on that with a young team, right? Like, how much are you going to rely on freshmen to be great defenders? But you know what? Mark Mitchell is a really, really good defender coming out of the gates.
And Whitehead is too. But we haven't even seen their ceiling yet. We were talking about it, John, down there. Like Lively is not the guy that we thought he was going to be yet. I think he can get there, but he's not there yet.
Missing piece, the length around the rim. If they can unlock his potential, that team is going, like we were talking about. They didn't look Texas, Illinois. They didn't look much better than Duke tonight. So like it would be an interesting game if we would have flipped Duke on one of those teams. It would have been fun to watch.
Is Duke at their best the best team in the Atlantic Coast Conference?
No, I think. Well, I don't want to say
exists.
Yeah, I don't know
Virginia
if there is one.
But at their best, on Duke's best night,
at their upside, it probably is true. If everybody reaches their upside, yes.
There's a lot of ifs.
But that's freshmen, and we don't know what Lively's going to be. We don't know what Whitehead is. Whitehead going to be an 8 to 10 point a game guy, or is he going to be a 15 every night and a guy you give the ball to? Because I don't want to give the ball. I like Roach, but I don't want Roach to be my guy in if they go to the Elite Eight with game on the line. I don't want Jeremy Roach being that guy. I want to see if it's White. Actually, I'm not sure they're going to have a guy. I feel like, honestly, the beauty of them might be just moving the ball and finding the open guy.
Whitehead kind of, I liked Whitehead tonight because he kind of did what he wanted out there. I think he was the only player that got to where he wanted to get, shot the shots he wanted to get. And so if there is going to be a guy down the stretch, he may be the guy, but will Shire trust him? Because he had a couple passes.
Not
and
yet.
When he gets in traffic, he kind of, his decision making is questionable.
Could it be a different guy every night?
Right.
I mean, could it ultimately be a different guy every night?
That's the idea. And the thing about Whitehead too is you got to remember he didn't really practice much in the fall, so he's still kind of figuring it out a little bit,
and that matters. I think my biggest, when I was young, being able to practice and play every day, and I was not injured, helped me move along fast. And I think with Lively being hurt, he missed that preseason, that exhibition game. He missed that scrimmage, getting his tail tore up. Yeah, and like he's doing that right now. So
he and Lively are similar in a lot of ways. Watching John Young, and I covered John when he was young. They're similar in a lot of ways. Again, more defensive minded guys that can run the court, block shots, all that. We have not seen that out of Derek Lively yet.
So that's why you were out there like, oh, look, Lively should shoot it.
Listen,
Lively's got to shoot it better.
By the way,
fortunately for me, UNC, Roy Williams loves his big guys.
He does.
That was a great situation.
No matter what,
listen, if you started in Carolina, you had to really suck not to.
What's
successful, right?
When he was covering you, what did he look like?
I was younger. I didn't have gray hair.
He's younger. He's more energetic. Hey, he probably was, going for. He's probably going to Chapel Hill bars after. You know what I'm saying?
I still do that.
Exactly.
He still does. I haven't slowed down.
The high school Goodman was the one. I mean,
I knew everybody. I did.
The high school Goodman.
Hey, listen.
I probably hounded Henson and called him and like
he was everywhere.
Break.
Everyone is anywhere.
How mad was he every time that he didn't get a scoop from you?
He got the scoop from me. That's my guy.
I guarantee I broke when he went to Carolina. I would bet my house says I broke that story.
Right.
I don't remember it. I remember Shire when I broke Shire's story.
Really?
Yeah, Duke guy.
You were always the guy, man. Just always around, always in the mix. Always, hey, everybody knew you. Good relationships.
Yeah, I don't know these kids anymore. I'm too damn old, man.
I have a question for you guys
because
I think that if you look at teams across the country right now, I think you can make the argument Duke has the most room to grow.
Sure. Well, they have the most freshmen.
Yeah, the most room to grow for teams that have a chance to be elite, right? Like I think we're kind of seeing Arkansas is probably the only team that has a comparable level of like potential pros and star freshmen, right? But we kind of see what they are. Like Anthony Black is there already, more or less, right? Nick Smith, he wasn't his best tonight, and Brazil, like he's dealing with the injury. And
we're watching one play. What did you say after the one play of Nick Smith?
I saw one play him going down the fast break. I saw that's a pro. Even at the end of the game, I was watching when we were down there. Nick Smith kind of wheeled them. He took over at the end and kind of put him on his back. So they're going to be good.
Here's my question to you, being a player and having that experience that you've had.
Yep.
How much are you seeing Duke's freshmen benefiting from having a guy like Roach, from having a guy like Ryan Young and company?
Honestly, Duke scares me in a sense of just if I'm a Carolina guy, because if they start racking up wins and confidence and those guys get healthy and the young guys they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. And so I think the trajectory is upward for them. Even their coach, he's figuring things out too.
Right.
And
That's a great point.
You know, so
that's actually a great point. And Vanna kind of asked me that earlier, is like, Shire, how impressed are you of what he's done so far? And like, yeah, it is impressive, because in Portland, it could have gone really south for a while. They look, I mean, again, Purdue and the first game
smoked by Purdue.
Yeah, in the first game they weren't very good. They were tested right out of the gate. And the one thing with Shire I give him credit for, like, he's pretty even keel.
Yeah.
Right. He's pretty even keel, which I think a young team needs.
Yeah, he runs a lot. You were talking about this. He runs a lot of NBA stuff too.
I love the offensive run. I really do. I mean, I was literally watching the plays being called thumb up 5, 77s. They were calling the stack screen play that a lot of NBA teams run. And
explain how those are the calls that the NBA teams.
Yeah, so the calls that Duke are calling are very common NBA terms, and so that's also kind of cool because it prepares those guys for the next level. So when they come into training camp and you hear 77, you know it's a double screen for the point guard, or certain things like that. So I love that part of their offense, and I think Duke is getting guys ready, and I think that's why they get those kind of.
Can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
Be honest here.
I got you.
When you watch Duke play, would you notice the fact that they have a different leader on the sidelines?
Yes. I mean, Coach K his presence he has a presence. I think when Coach K got up and got angry, I mean, the people responded.
There you go.
And so
that's what
I don't know if I've seen Shire do that yet, and he will want to, but like, when Coach K got up and
you got to earn it.
players were like, oh, get together.
Not just that, the officials. Those are the guys that realize.
I'm not sure. Like tonight, like again, this officiating crew probably wouldn't have been, as kind of
intimidated. Just say it.
Yeah.
Say intimidated.
I mean, you got Roger Harris, you got John Higgins. Like those dudes aren't going to be intimidated by Coach K or anybody for the most part, but most officials are, especially when you put them at Cameron or generally here. Like this is obviously a place that Shire's never coached before. You put him at the Garden. He's played here. He said it. He's
24 times.
24 times between
player
or assistant coach. He's been at the Garden. So that makes it a little bit easier.
And they come up here every year.
Wait a minute. I thought it was UConn's second home.
UConn. This is UConn's building.
Twice a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is UConn's building. Be up close to 15 to 20.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Though, right? This is UConn's home arena.
Yeah, okay.
It's their third. It's their third gym.
Yeah, for real.
Now, what field was there? A field to that? Where did UConn